It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News and Podcast on this, the 24th day of October 2022. Now, so you'll know, folks, what kind of happened yesterday. I was on the road yesterday, and I, for some reason, and I have no idea why, I felt totally uncomfortable in the car. I felt as uncomfortable in the car as I did in the airplane back when I quit flying in April when I flew to Los Angeles. So I got down yesterday. I didn't leave the house until about noon yesterday, so I knew I was going to stop someplace on the way. I had hoped to maybe go to 8 or 9 o'clock, but that wasn't in the cards. But anyway, I saw a sign that said 30 miles to Orangeburg, and right after that was a rest area, and I said, ooh, it's time to pee and call Hot Air Tom. And that's exactly what I did. And I said, see if Orangeburg has a room at the Holiday Inn Express there. I stayed there a bunch of times. And once again, Hot Air Tom bailed me out. He got me the room. That was almost an hour before I got there because there were 2 wrecks, but then that last 30 miles, the traffic was just awful. But I finally got in there and I got out of the car, got on my little scooter, got my stuff to take to the room. I rolled in the front door and the gal says, "Mr. Chillie, how you doing? I got your room already. Here's your keys." And it's just been an hour since Hot Air Tom had sent the message through. So once again, Hot Air Tom bailed me out. I had was able to actually had a very restful evening last night. And this morning I feel fine. I'm in the car and I put in, a couple hundred miles already today, and I'm perfectly comfortable, just like I've been on all the other trips. So who knows why yesterday I was just out of sorts. So anyway, I'm in Brunswick, Georgia. This show is coming to you live from Brunswick, Georgia. I'm about 4 hours and 15 minutes, something like that, from Tampa, which I'm going to Tampa. And tonight I'll be staying at I don't even remember, Comfort Inn and Suites, or I don't know, wherever I've got reservations. I got it plugged into my GPS. I have made a decision on tomorrow. When I try to pre-record a show, I get up early, I do my research, depending on how much news there is and how much writing I have to do and how much double checking I have to do and all those kind of things. It's time consuming. And then if I'm pre-taping the show, then I have to tape it. Then I have to download it to my computer. If there's any editing that has to be done, I have to edit it. Oh, sorry, computer's falling off my belly. And then I have to upload it. And then I have to promote it to tell you that it'll be live at 11 o'clock or whatever. So here's what I'm going to do tomorrow morning, folks. I am going to do a live. It's not going to be at 11 o'clock. It's going to be whenever I get done, researching, getting the show set, all those kind of things. Whenever I get finished, I'm just going to go live. I'm guessing like 8 o'clock. So those of you that get notified when I go live, if you're awake and not doing anything, feel free to join me. If not, you can always catch the replay, which will be the same thing as your normal show. After the show is over, I will, post it to Facebook and to every place that I usually do to advertise the show, and that'll have the link so anybody can go see it anytime. So if those of you that are with me bright and early, um, whatever time it is that I get done, and like I say, I'm hoping it would be somewhere at 8 o'clock ish, like that. Um, you can then we'll have a chat room. So if you're there and want to get in the chat room, then go ahead. I'm sure it's not going to be this full contingency of folks that early in the morning. I understand that. But that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be easier for me just to do it that way. I don't think it'll make any difference on the number of views I get. The major portion of my audience now is from the podcast. That has exceeded the number of people that actually watch the live show tremendously. Then, of course, the podcast will go up a little earlier than normal. So if anybody, however they check into that, it'll be there. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Of course, that's embarkation day for me to get on Serenade of the Seas. This is a 3-cruise adventure, 3-cruise line adventure, Serenade of the Seas. And then I'll hop over. I was going to spend a couple days with my niece and nephew in, I don't know, it's over there on the east coast of Florida someplace. I forget the town that they're in. And then hop down to West Palm and get on Margaritaville Express. Get off of that, go back over to Tampa, and I'll be joining up with Cindy Lee and her crew on the Carnival Paradise. So that's what's going to happen the next couple of days. I will be doing, hopefully, I will be doing not only the show live from all those ships, I'm hoping to do live streams as well while we are on the ships. So that's what's up. So a couple things to grab before we go on to the news. There's not a whole lot of news today, folks. It's really a slow day. My buddy Patty Grant posted this morning. That's the view today. She got on another ship yesterday. I'm not sure I don't remember what Patty's on. She just got off of Mardi Gras, I believe, was about a week and a half ago. And she's on another ship now. I'm not sure which one it is. And then from our buddy Bubba, who's on the Rotterdam. This was Tavadias. He's on the Lido deck. And this was Oka, also on the Lido deck. And of course, one of the things that Bubba does, he cleans up well. And actually, this was a good lesson to me, folks. The first time I saw Bubba all decked out in his tux, I made a comment about it. And he says, look, he said, my wife gets all fixed up in a nice dress and dresses up for the fancy nights. And he says, that's just showing respect to her. So he says, I don't mind dressing up in a tux. So basically what I've started doing, folks, is I've always now, sometimes I will try to avoid dressing up on the dress up nights, but I at least put a sport coat and a nice shirt on. And, I'm not going to go back to the tie wrap, but, 50 years of my life with a tie on, not that many, 40 years of my life with a tie on. I'm just not going to do that again. And I'm not going to get in a tux. I'm not going that far, but I'll dress up a little bit. And then this is Lynn and Bubba playing a little backgammon and enjoying the cruise and relaxing during the day because they stay pretty busy at night. Bubba and Lynn know how to cruise. So they're on the Rotterdam on the transatlantic, and it's just been a fantastic cruise for them. So, all right, I'll be back with today's news right after a quick break from one of our sponsors. Be back shortly. All right, guys, we got to start off today. There's, like I say, wasn't a whole lot of news, and they're pretty much just really short, quick, easy does it stories that didn't take a whole lot of work on my part. By the way, if you're listening via the podcast, always welcome aboard. You can access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. And anytime you want to hop over to the video feed, there's always a link in the description of the podcast that you can click on and hop over to check out pictures like this one. That's the Norwegian Getaway. The current cruise that it's on, it was announced that they're changing port of calls. Instead of going to Puerto Plata as was planned, they're now going to Amber Cove. Well, it's only 5 miles away. I've been to both. I like both. I loved Amber Cove. But Puerto Plata was about the same as Amber Cove. No reason has been given for the change. That's the thing that bothers me. I mean, when you announce it, even when the email goes out to the passengers that you're changing port of calls, put a reason in. Say that there's too many ships that day, or they're doing dock construction, or whatever the reason. The cruising family, the cruise line should know by now. Our cruising family, we're pretty flexible. You have to change something, we're not going to go off the deep end, but just tell us why. I get so aggravated at that. That's me. All right, celebrity. They finally got to what's that place? Australia. Celebrity Cruises made its return to Australia for the first time in 930 days. Celebrity Eclipse will sail 17 cruises in Australia and New Zealand. They got there this weekend and they got underway for the first cruise. The vessel sailed from Sydney this weekend on a 12-night cruise exploring the scenic beauty of New Zealand. Other cruises include voyages exploring Hobart, Cairns, Adelaide, as well as a return to the South Pacific Islands in January. Congratulations to the Celebrity Eclipse. And that's on my bucket list. Maybe one of these days. And the final story this morning, this is the same kind of aggravation as the first story. Grandeur of the Seas. It's currently sailing down there in Galveston. It's going to do a repositioning cruise in November. Guests booked aboard Royal Caribbean International's Grandeur of the Seas on the ship's November 4th sailing. That's the first cruise at the new port of Miami, by the way. I have been notified of a delayed embarkation, pushing back arrival times at the cruise terminal by 3 hours, possibly more. Of course, this can cause problems with arriving travelers, but it's not expected to strongly impact the overall cruise. No reason given. Okay, so you're delaying things by 3 hours. The people that are planning to go on that cruise that are flying in, that's going to screw up their whole day. They got to kill 3 hours either in the airport, or maybe they can take an excursion to do something, but you can't get to the cruise port and wait 3 hours. They're not going to let you do that. Again, give us a reason, folks. Tell us whatever it is. We can deal with it. I mean, it's not going to impact the cruise much other than delay things 3 hours. At least, thank goodness, they don't have to deal with passengers disembarking, because the repositioning cruise has no passengers. They're just going to go from Galveston over with nobody on it except crew. That's a little odd, I thought, too. But anyway, that's it for news this morning. Like I say, it was a very light day. Uh, I wouldn't mind too awful much if tomorrow is equally as light, but that's okay. It's just traveling and moving and getting ready to start the next adventure can be a pain in the butt sometimes. Getting all this done and like trying to balance my computer on my belly and the steering wheel. I apologize about the lighting, folks. The first place I parked was in the sun, which the lighting on my face was much better, but I couldn't see the damn screen. I couldn't read my notes. And so I pulled around here to the shade of the building, which is the best place for the signal, but the lighting sucks. I don't have lights for in the car. Hot Air Tom's with us. Again, thank you, Hot Air Tom, for bailing my butt out yesterday. I appreciate it. Carol's with us. Hi, Carol. Cindy Lee. Hi, Cindy. Getting ready to cruise. By the way, have you finished all your checking in and stuff? I did. I had to go back and do the Verifly thing because the first time I did it, it apparently didn't take and they didn't have it. And so I had to go Verifly again. That's the thing where you put all your health stuff in to save time when you get to the port. Elizabeth on location is with us. She just celebrated her birthday. Happy birthday, Elizabeth on location down in Cozumel. Looking forward to seeing you this week, maybe. That's what I don't remember what day I get to. I have to look at my itinerary. I can't keep all that stuff straight. But anyway, I'm going to hook up with Elizabeth one day. I'm sure there will be some adult beverages involved. I can't promise that, but something tells me there will be an adult beverage or two involved in that one. Hot Air Tom says, have some Brunswick stew. I don't think Brunswick stew comes from Brunswick, Georgia. I might be wrong, but yeah, no, they wouldn't do Brunswick stew in Georgia. It's too hot for stew. More likely that's from Brunswick. What is that up there? Not Nova Scotia. New Brunswick. Yeah, that's what it is. Duh. More likely it's from up there than here. Thanks to Hot Air Tom, I'm with you. Long drives. Where to go? Can be exhausting when you get stuck in traffic. Yeah, it was just weird, Cindy, because I've loved all the driving I've done this year. You know, I've been to Florida, what, I've driven from Virginia to Florida and back, I don't know, 6, 8 times. I've gone from Miami it's from Port Canaveral over to Galveston. Did a couple cruises out of Galveston and then drove back to Virginia. But yesterday was just, and it wasn't after, I'd driven for 4, 5, 6 hours and gotten tired. I'm talking about from the minute I got in the car yesterday morning, I was uncomfortable. It was just strange. But today I'm back to normal today. So does Porta Plata have a pool like Amber Cove? Yes, they do. It's not as nice. I actually prefer Amber Cove. But Porta Plata's not bad. Nikki's with us. Hi, Nikki. Cindy says, yep, all checked in and have a boarding time of 10:30 to 11. Verify is complete. Looking forward to meeting you. Yes, indeed. And Elizabeth, too. Yeah, we're going to go hook up with her. Yeah, I'm looking forward to I'm as excited about the next 5 cruises as I've been all year. One, I'm looking forward to getting to meet Cindy. I always look forward to seeing Elizabeth. That's fantastic. I'll see her when I'm on Serenade, and then I'll see her again with Cindy when we're there on Carnival Paradise. I've wanted to try Margaritaville Sea Express even back before it was Margaritaville at Sea. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Hopefully, I'm gonna be able to hook up with our buddy Bethany and for an adult beverage in Tampa. I'm gonna send her a message when I get in, see if we can hook up either now or when I get back to Tampa next week. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. And then my the next two cruises, uh, uh, with Holland America with the new Staten Dam, and then the inaugural cruise for the Seascape. I'm really excited about the way my year is going to end. I will end the year with 19 cruises, which is by far the best year I've ever had, and I think it's 131 days at sea, which is just awesome. I don't know if I can do that again next year. The money might run out before I can do that. Chillie Cruises. Google says the home of Brunswick stew is Brunswick, Georgia. Well, I'll be damned. I stand corrected, Hot Air Tom. Mike says, enjoy your cruises. Do. I'd enjoy a cruise if I was in a kayak. And you don't put this fat man in a kayak, but I'd enjoy that. If I'm on the water, I don't care. A raft is fine. Good morning, Rich. Greetings. All post-cruise blues in full swing. Got off Independence of the Seas Friday. It sucks to get off cruises, doesn't it? How'd you like Independence of the Seas? That's one that I have not sailed yet. That's on the to-do list. That's up near the top of the to-do list for the next time I get a really good deal. I want to do Independence of the Seas. I've also, while I'm driving to this morning, I make no bones about the point that my agent, who's my son, I have no fancy dancing age. Although he's fancy dancy, this is his business. He's representing me, and we're looking to get some sponsorship deals. And I came up with an idea to approach maybe some of the cruise lines on. We are definitely going to have. I can't announce it yet, but we do have a sponsor lined up for at least 3 cruises. So yeah, we're going to have a little bit of success in that. But I got to thinking this morning, why can't I sit down and make a proposal to any cruise line and say, okay, folks, here's what I'm going to do. You give me a cabin, I don't care where it is. I'll take an inside cabin. It doesn't matter to me. Of course, I'd love to have it anything other than that. But anyway, as long as it's a handicapped accessible cabin, and give me the Wi-Fi, and I will do at least 5 news shows a week, and possibly 6 or 7 if there's any kind of news at all on Saturday and Sunday. I'll do a show on Saturday and Sunday that you sponsor. I will have any kind of commercial that you want in it. I'll talk about it. I'll talk about the ship. In addition, I'll do at least one other live stream every day. And that live stream could be anything from a tour to something special, like maybe sitting down with a live stream with the captain from the bridge, or who knows? And all it's going to cost you is a room and the Wi-Fi. Anything else that I spend is, of course, my expense. I think that'd be a pretty cool deal. I'll even let them pick the cruise. You tell me where to be. All you're doing is providing me with the room and board, of course, this regular cruise passage and the Wi-Fi, and I'll give you, the advertising. whether it's on this channel or the podcast or videos that I do that week, you know, that would give them longer period of time that they're getting good out of the advertising. So I'm going to have to talk to Jason and say, okay, we got a new package, dude. Let's try this and see what happens. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, Royal Caribbean or Norwegian or, Holland America. I mean, it could be the little guys too. I'll do the same thing for them. Maybe give me a chance to sell on some boats that I couldn't afford to do on my own. All right, let's see what happens. What happens with that. To be the vessel in which this favorite Southern food was first cooked in 1898. Wow. Okay. Had no idea that was actually a Brunswick, Georgia. So glad to find that one out. I'm anxious to hear about what you think about Margarita. Yeah, me too. I mean, I know that Jimmy Buffett doesn't sail, and he's not going to be there performing or anything like that. Would be really cool. But yeah, I'm just to see how they do it. I'm sure the vibe is right. I mean, let's face it. I love Margaritaville, their bar restaurants that I've been to a bunch of. I've always enjoyed those. 19 cruises. I thought I was a big shot with 5 this year. Yeah, Cindy, this has been a good year for me. I mean, I has by far the biggest and most that I've ever done. And to be not only over 100 days, 130 days, that's pretty cool. I would love to, I'd love to be able to do another one like that. But also keep in mind, Cindy, this was a culmination of using up all the credits from canceled cruises during the pandemic. It was also a chance for me to, once I got the health issues somewhat behind me, so yeah, this was a me getting back to my life year. I'd love to be able to do, 2, 3 cruises every month. I mean, I got nothing, yes, my sister and brother-in-law, my niece, we all live in the same house, but I don't need to be there. I'm much happier at sea. As long as I'm kicking, I'm going to sail. Dennis is with us. Hi, Dennis. Good to see you. Independence of the Seas is awesome. Just sailed on Independence of the Seas in February. Well, I'm just, I'm a big fan of Royal Caribbean overall. I mean, I like them a lot. I want to sail Celebrity. That's the step up from Royal Caribbean that Royal Caribbean owns, of course. Independence of the Sea was nice, slightly bigger than Mariner and Adventure. Okay. I've had a palate-friendly version of Brunswick stew, no possum or squirrel meat. Yeah. I want grade A stamped on its ass, Dennis, for even in Brunswick stew. Made with chicken, barbecue sauce, corn, butterbeans. Yeah, that's pretty much. And my cousin does a big Brunswick stew every year, and he actually does 2 pots. He does a pot with the things that I won't eat, and he does a pot with the things that I will eat. I like Brunswick stew. It's not bad. Also, our firehouse, which is, I sold them the land for the firehouse right next door to me. They do a Brunswick stew every fall. We always, order a meal. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Dennis says, Chillie, look at low solo cruise fares on MSC. Oh, I love MSC. Transatlantic repositioning cruises, about $25 a night. I want to go back. I did the first cruise back this year was Freedom of the Seas. And then I did 3 in a row MSCs, which I'd never sailed an MSC before. Now that I'm a lot more attuned to looking at accessibility issues on a cruise ship, that I was just starting and feeling my way, I'd like to go back and do all 3 of them over again. With a better eye toward accessibility issues. Number 1, I loved all 3 of them. That was Seashore, Divina, and Meraviglia. I will be happy to do those again this year. So yeah, I'm also aware that there's some decent solo deals. That's why I booked them to start with. And quite often you can get them with no solo supplement at all, which is terrific. I like to see everybody doing that. The Margaritaville jerk prawns and lime prawns are delicious. Yes, I've had the prawns there, and I agree. They're terrific. MSC Seaside, I have booked for June 4th. Very cheap. Will be my first MSC. Yes, Seaside's going to be here for a short period. I have not been on Seaside. I was looking that for Amigo Martin is going to be over here, I think, on one of the Seaside cruises. Meraviglia. I say that wrong. Dennis, as you can tell, is working on my Italian pronunciation and all the things that I slaughter. So I can't roll things. Meraviglia. Anyway, I appreciate Dennis. He keeps me straight. So that's cool. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. I'm going to head on down the road, get to Tampa. We'll probably be posting something. And again, tomorrow morning, I'm going to do a live show earlier than normal. So if you pop in at 11 o'clock like you normally do, just look for the link on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. It'll be there. And if you are up and about in the 8-ish area, I'll target 8 o'clock if I can get everything done by then. And we'll just do a live stream tomorrow, and then of course it'll be up for the rest of the day. So, all right, that's going to wrap me up for today, guys. I'm off to Tampa. Looking forward to it. Tomorrow I will be embarking on Serenade of the Seas. All right, that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a fantastic day. See you tomorrow.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.